Hello everyone and welcome to my General Hospital Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Joss makes a serious accusation against Vaughn, and Marco has an unexpected family reunion. Today on General Hospital, Ada Turner has a lot of questions, Sidwell offers Sonny an offer, and Carly and Jack clear things up. Sasha and Jason meet in the Quartermain kitchen. She phoned him because Felicia made her realize how involved he will be in this child's life. She discusses, for example, the birth plan and if he will be on the baby's birth certificate. He offers to be on it if it helps. She believes it would have been better if she had left town, and if Willow discovers the truth, she will exploit it to gain custody of Wiley and Amelia. Jason claims that is why he is claiming to be the father, but Sasha worries how long this will continue. She despises lying to Michael's family and her own. Jason says he'll be here to support her until Michael returns, which hopefully will be soon. Until then, they're in it together. Suddenly, the baby kicks for the first time. She mentions that she was with him when the baby first moved. She holds his hand and lets him feel the small kicking she carries. Kai goes looking for advice. Kai drops by Aurora's office to chat to Curtis about the surgery opportunity Drew has offered him. He claims Drew has even offered to cover the bills. Kai understands that it may allow him to play football again, but it is hazardous, and the treatment must be performed as soon as possible after the original injury. He has little time to make a decision. Kai seeks Curtis for advice. Curtis proposes that he speak with his wife and have this treatment approved. If it's true, he has a decision to make. Marco meets Lucas at the Metro Court Bar. Lucas wonders why Marco is in town. Marco calls it fate. He reveals that he was looking for a position at a legal company, and his photo was on a desk there. He adds that he interviewed with Diane but still wants to meet Alexis before making an offer. Lucas insists that if he moves here, he must make a confession. He claims he rarely goes to bars and never picks up strange men. He's also far from ready for a relationship. Marco assures him that he is not plotting to become his husband. He happened to be in town for the work, so he contacted him. Lucas insists he isn't usually this neurotic. Marco inquires about his ex-husband's well-being. Lucas has been avoiding him as much as possible, and he is working to clean up the damage he caused. Marco questions why this is his job. Lucas assumes he feels bad about it, and after it's resolved, he'll be able to move on from his ex. Lucas is eager to learn more about Marco, but he must run to a meeting. He'll be in town for a few more days, so perhaps they might meet again. Lucas replies he would like that. Ada Turner has questions. In the alcove, Trina meets with Ada Turner. Turner discusses what transpired in the Quartermain crypt and Emma's actions. Turner adds Emma had priors in California, and he wonders if she has discussed them, or why she was dismissed from her previous school. Trina claims Emma has never spoken to her about either topic. Trina questions why a New York ADA is concerned about what transpired across the country. Trina met with ADHH. Turner is only concerned with Emma's crimes because of her grandma. She wants to know if Anna is protecting Emma from prosecution. Trina maintains her problem is with Anna, and she has no relationship to her. She wishes her good day and leaves. Turner is nosy. Carly and Jack argue over Sonny. Carly informs Jack that if he lies to her about Sonny, they will have a problem. She suspects Sonny threatened him to leave her alone. Jack insists Sonny didn't mention her name, and it was WSB business. Carly understands that he needs to keep secrets, but she will not tolerate lies. Carly and Jack's issues Jack admits that there may be occasions when he is unable to tell her the truth and must tell her half-truths, and she must be willing to accept this. He promises if she trusts him, he will not take advantage of her. Carly expresses concern that her heart may be broken here. He says that he is the one breaking the WSB's primary rule. Do not create attachments. Nonetheless, he is attached to her. They kiss and Jack wishes he could take this to his room, but he has work to do. Jack and Carly's issues Carly approaches Lucas and asks about the man he was with. He introduces himself as Marco, and she compliments him on his good looks. Lucas mentions that she did not return home last night, and he was concerned. He also assumed she didn't want him to know she was seeing Jack. Carly claims that everyone has lectured her about Jack, and she is tired of it. Lucas claims Jason came into work and chastised him about her and Jack. He won't fight with her over Jack, but he believes Jason would not back down so quickly. Drew storms into Portia's office, yelling that she failed to fulfill their agreement, as Curtis refers to him as Congressman Kane in his news conference broadcast. He warns her that if she doesn't control Curtis, he will ruin her life. She tells him that she has no control over Monica and Tracy's reactions to his name, and she also has no influence over Curtis. Drew says she needs to keep track on what Curtis is doing and report back to him. Otherwise, he would tell Curtis what he knows about her. Drew is on his way out when Brad arrives. She asks Brad what he expects from her. He wants a promotion and a 4-day weekend, but she says no. She knows he handed over the evidence against her to Drew, but he claims he didn't. He acknowledges that he gave it to his Aunt Selena. She informs him that their arrangement is complete. Now all that remains is calculating his severance money. He begged her not to fire her. They are interrupted by Kai, and Portia urges Brad to leave, but they will continue their conversation later. Kai adds that he's here because Curtis recommended he see her for a second opinion on a treatment that could allow him to play again. She replies she'll look into it and wonders how he learned about it. Kai claims it came from Drew, who has even offered to pay for the procedure. Portia says he'll need to talk to his parents, but he wanted to make sure this was a real option first. She repeats that she will look into it for him. Brad returns to Portia's office and begs to not be sent back to his Aunt Selena. She agrees to keep him on because he might be useful someday, but for the time being, she owes his ass. Drew stops at Aurora after being summoned by Curtis. Curtis wants Drew to leave Kai alone and not give him hope for the impossible. Drew says this treatment is not impossible, and he believes Curtis would be pleased for Kai. Curtis believes that if Kai's treatment fails and he is forced to leave football, Drew's interest in him would fade. Drew insists he's merely trying to help and that Curtis is the problem. Kai pays a visit to Trina and informs her that he has some good news. Jens has a family reunion. Jens rants at Natalia at Windmere, telling her that she will never be able to give him commands because of how she destroyed their family. The doorbell rings and Jens goes to answer it. Sonny arrives uninvited and tells Sidwell it's time they met. Jens invites him in, and Sonny notices champagne on the table. Natalia has made herself scarce. Jens tells that the women from Deception were just here. Sonny speculates that his penthouse was bombed shortly after he arrived in town, and new information leads him to believe Jens was responsible. He asks Jens if the name Selinsky is familiar, and Jens admits to knowing several. Sonny claims Selinsky was hired to bomb his residence. He worked all over the world including Africa, which Jens previously worked in. Jens reminds out that Africa is a large continent, and Sonny seemed to want to get rid of him. Jens claims it is actually the contrary. He claims he requires a secure port to work from, and Sonny is adept at preserving order and keeping criminal elements at bay. Sonny is hesitant to trust he will manage a respectable business. Jens offers to prove himself by utilizing his resources to discover the person who hired Selinsky. Jens says he has a son. Sonny says he'll handle this himself and wishes Jens well in business, as long as it doesn't conflict with his. Sonny leaves and Natalia reappears. She claims Sonny is intelligent and dangerous, and it is not advisable to make an enemy of him. If he has plans for Sonny's territory, he should reconsider them. Jens noted she bolted and hid when Sonny appeared, leading him to believe Sonny is unaware of their connection. He reminds her to remain silent for the sake of her own health and well-being. The doorbell rings again and Jens answers. Marco apologizes to his father for being late. When he notices Natalia, he gasps, "Mom, what are you doing here?" Sonny stops by the Metro Court to speak with Ada Turner. Turner has only been in Port Charles for a short time, but she has noted that he appears to be friendly with the mayor and police commissioner, which might harm their careers and image, based on tales about him. Sonny claims he does not heed to gossip. He observes that they are friends and people like him. He offers Turner some counsel. Don't go fishing if she's after something. She says she is not fishing. She has more questions, but Sonny is out of answers and will see her shortly. Joss causes trouble for Vaughn. Joss visits a coffee shop and notices Vaughn sitting at a table, flirting with a woman. She's shocked to find him here and hopes she's not interrupting. The woman claims that she was merely asking for some sugar and leaves. Vaughn believes she was in class today. She says her professor offered them the day off, so she decided to go exploring. She sees the shop's branding on all of his cups, so it must be delicious. He calls her perceptive. They make light chat, and Joss notices that the croissants here appear popular. He snatches some croissants before they sell out. He starts to collect the tray, but collides with the woman who had requested sugar earlier. He drops the croissants and she assists him in picking them up. She also passes him a gadget under the tray, which Joss catches. Vaughn returns to Joss with the final clean croissant and admits he was clumsy. Vaughn then states that he needs to get to work, so she should enjoy her afternoon off. Joss heads back to the gym where Vaughn is. Jack shows up to inquire about Joss's improvement. Vaughn reports Joss has completed all of her tests and is ready to graduate. He wants to get back on the field. Jack warns him that considering what occurred in Romania, it will be a long time before he returns to the field. When Jack asks if they have an understanding, Vaughn responds yes. Joss interrupts Vaughn just before he leaves to allow Jack and Joss space. She informs Jack that there is something he should know. She had seen Vaughn get dropped off earlier. She assumed he was on a mission, but now she's not so sure. Drew tells Curtis not to include Kai in the next general hospital. Trina says to Kai, "This seems hard to believe." Ava sits behind Rick and begs him to wake up. Liz informs Lucky that this will be a difficult rehabilitation. Carly begs Jason to believe her judgment that Jack is not a threat to her. Jack asks Joss if she still believes her version of events. Is Jerry Jacks responsible for Sunny's penthouse bombing? General Hospital spoilers and updates teaser: Jerry Jacks could have been behind Sunny Corinthos' penthouse blast. Sebastian's character Father Renault may be able to reprise his position on GH now that he has been killed off in 1923. There are a few reasons to suspect Jerry Jacks. There are various reasons to believe Jerry Jacks is the one behind the scenes, hiring Salisky to plant the bomb in Sunny's penthouse. For starters, Jerry has always been a mercenary who has access to weapons and bioweapons. Jerry was the one who polluted the Port Charles water with a fatal chemical in 2012, as Emma Scorpio Drake mentioned in the March 31st episode. Furthermore, in 1998, he put a bomb in a warehouse, resulting in a fire that nearly killed Sunny, his brother, Jax Jacks, and Lucas Jones. Jerry has perpetrated arson on multiple occasions. The most surprising reason to suspect Jerry Jacks as the penthouse bomber. The poisoning of Carly Spencer is the most compelling cause to suspect Jerry of being responsible for the recent occurrences. Polonium was used to spike the champagne intended for Jack Brennan. This fatal chemical was originally used against Luke Spencer in 2013, and Anna Devane's daughter, Robin Scorpio Drake, was able to save Carly. After Jerry's initial attack on Luke, Robin found an antidote for polonium poisoning. Despite the fact that Jerry was also suffering from it at the time, however, Jerry reappeared later. It raises the notion that Jack's selection of Jocelyn Jacks as a WSB recruit was not random. There could be a deeper relationship because Jerry is Joss' uncle. Jerry escaped from prison about 2016 and has not been seen since. Jerry escaped from Steinmauer prison about 2016 and has not been seen since. That's the same prison Jack was transporting Valentine to, which is meant to be escape-proof but clearly isn't, as Jerry escaped. Now it's possible that Jack and Jerry were working together behind the scenes, and Valentine was only a pawn, despite his attempt to poison Jack. When Valentine briefed Sunny about Salisky, he explained that he was looking for the stolen bombs from the WSB facility while Brennan was in Pentonville and working pikemen. But one thing is certain, Jerry is on the loose and anything is possible, and what happened to Sunny's penthouse is clearly his MO, even if he did hire Salisky. The tension in Port Charles had been simmering for weeks, but no one expected it to boil over quite like this. Jocelyn Jacks, never one to shy away from confrontation, stood in the middle of Kelly's diner, her eyes blazing with fury as she leveled a damning accusation at Dr. Austin Vaughn. The usually bustling diner fell into an uneasy silence as patrons turned to watch the unfolding drama. Vaughn, who had been calmly sipping his coffee, set his cup down slowly, his expression unreadable. But those who knew him well could see the flicker of irritation in his eyes. Joss spat, her voice trembling with anger. "I know what you did." Vaughn leaned back in his booth, crossing his arms. "And what exactly is it that you think I did, Joss?" His tone was measured, almost mocking, which only fueled her rage. "You know exactly what I'm talking about," she shot back. "You lied, you manipulated, you hurt people. And you're not going to get away with it." The accusation hung heavy in the air. Vaughn had always been a controversial figure in Port Charles, with his mysterious past and questionable alliances. But Joss's words suggested something far more sinister. The onlookers exchanged glances, wondering if this was just another explosive argument, or if there was real truth behind her claims. The General Hospital spoilers for Thursday, April 3rd, show that Jack Brennan will have a key question for Carly Spencer, while Jocelyn Jack smells trouble. In addition, a furious Drew Kane believes Portia Robinson will make a mistake. Lucas Jones will make an admission in Metro Court that will cement his new relationship with Marco Rios. Carly may see the close encounter because she will be near Brennan. Speaking of Brennan, he'll ask a question that could impact his future with Carly. Brennan will explain something and ask Carly if she can live with it. Perhaps Brennan is referring to the secrets of his job, or the ongoing criticism they will experience in their romance. In any case, Carly may reassure Brennan that she is willing to follow this through. Carly will then corner Lucas and conduct an interrogation. There's a good probability Carly will want to learn more about attractive Marco, so she might start making predictions about new love. Marco, on the other hand, will most likely keep his family connections in Port Charles a secret from Lucas. It appears that Marco is Jen Sidwell's son with Natalia Ramirez, so keep an eye out for his eventual return to Spoon Island. Jason Morgan and Sasha Gilmore Corbin will have a serious baby-related talk. As Sasha and Jason work out the terms of their ongoing relationship, they will become closer. At Windermere, Sidwell will deflect any allegations leveled by Sonny Corinthos. Sonny may assume Sidwell sent Salisky after him since the hitman had African ties, but Sidwell will not accept responsibility. Instead, Sidwell will continue to pretend he is this fantastic guy of compassion, suggesting that he could assist Sonny in determining who blew up the penthouse. Despite Sidwell's appeal to use his resources for Sonny's benefit, the mob boss may say he's not interested. Of course, Natalia will most likely be hiding somewhere, while Sonny investigates whether Sidwell is guilty. Meanwhile, Jocelyn will face some doubts when Vaughn guides her away from the WSB training facility. Although Jocelyn may be concerned that trouble is looming, this should be a pleasant surprise instead. Vaughn and Jocelyn appear to be heading to a little cafe, as that is where they will be hanging out on Thursday's episode. Vaughn may believe Jocelyn deserves some break, as she awaits the outcome of her final training exercises. However, if Jocelyn is required to observe other guests and assess her surroundings, Vaughn may be able to use this outing as a learning opportunity. At GH, Portia will make a bold move. When Portia plays with fire by going up against Drew, he warns her that she could be burned. Drew will make it plain that if Portia does not cooperate, he would destroy her world, so she will have to deal with his rage and worry about what comes next. Curtis Ashford will have his own concerns when he receives updates on Drew's news regarding Kai Taylor. Although Kai will be tempted to accept Drew's offer to pay for his cutting-edge surgery, is this a wise idea? According to General Hospital teasers, Curtis will once again raise concerns about Drew's dark side, leaving Kai to determine whether this is worth the risk. General Hospital spoilers indicate that Sonny Corinthos may not be able to avoid the next attack. Sonny's adversary may respond with terrible consequences, so evaluate how things might unfold. Now that Salisky has passed away, it will only be a matter of time before his client receives an update. Jason Morgan noted that the person who hired Salisky would simply find someone else to finish the task. Of course, Sonny intends to have Brick dig around on Salisky's devices. The goal is to find out who is after Sonny, but he is delaying surgery and putting himself in danger. With that postponed heart treatment and Sonny's determined foe, there are valid reasons to be concerned about what lies ahead. The mystery person responsible for the penthouse attack could hire another hitman and make another attempt on Sonny's life as soon as possible. No matter how Sonny is targeted this time, he is likely to face difficulty. Sonny could be in terrible danger, and Jason Morgan may not be able to save him. It's easy to envision Sonny getting wounded, exacerbating his heart difficulties. Even if Sonny survives the event, the stress may be too much for his heart to bear. Jason attempted to persuade Sonny that if he died as a result of his postponed surgery, he would just be doing his enemy's bidding. Despite Jason's concerns about what lies ahead, Sunny appears to believe he is invincible and may pay the price for it. It's evident that Sunny isn't prioritizing his health, thus there will be consequences. Of course, Sunny will survive whatever is thrown at him, but his family may experience some scary moments in the meanwhile. When Sunny's adversary pursues him again, it could set off a disastrous chain reaction that leaves him hospitalized and trying to survive. Sunny had hoped to have the heart operation out of town and keep things private, but there may not be time in the end. Sunny's operation may become an emergency, and he may have it performed right there in the new Dr. Monica Quartermaine Cardiac Center at GH General Hospital. Spoilers and recaps for Tuesday, April 1st indicate that the episode focused on memories, friendships, and commemorating the soap's legacy as it marks 62 years on the air, honoring Monica Quartermaine. The show focused on the opening of the new Monica Quartermaine Cardiac Care Center and Atrium. Monica was unable to attend owing to respiratory concerns, but she was clearly on everyone's thoughts. Friendship was everywhere. According to General Hospital spoilers, old friends reunited during the episode airing Tuesday, April 1st. Alexis Davis and Curtis Ashford talked after an AA meeting, and Max Scorpio and Anna Devane enjoyed a moment. Furthermore, Sunny Corinthos and Laura Collins shared a moment to reflect on the significance of General Hospital. Sunny also spoke with Anna about Stone's death from HIV, and how Robin Scorpio is fortunate to be able to continue living a productive life. Anna was heartbroken not to be present when Robin revealed she was HIV positive at the nurses' ball, and Sunny remarked it was a pleasure to support her. Maxie Jones even sent treat bags full with deception items for the nurses in attendance, as recognition of their everyday contributions to the hospital. The Memorial Wall. The Memorial Wall is a popular hallway at General Hospital, especially on days like today. Carly Spencer took her daughter, Donna Corinthos, to see Bobby Spencer's photo, and Felicia Scorpio accompanied them. They talked about Bobby's contributions to the hospital and her importance in both of their lives. Tracy Quartermaine was enjoying a peaceful moment near the Memorial Wall when Stella Henry joined her. They discussed the Quartermaine family's efforts, as well as how Alan Quartermaine and Monica left the hospital in excellent condition. According to General Hospital spoilers, the cardiac center was funded by an unidentified donor, subsequently identified as Sunny Corinthos. Alexis ran into him in the corridor and complimented his contribution. She only recognized him because she had accidentally seen the documents. Alexis also ran into Laura, who wasn't sure how to react. She acknowledged Alexis' conversation with Lulu Spencer and admitted to struggling with what to say. Alexis advised Laura not to feel guilty and instead focus on Sam's positive deeds and the love she shared. Lulu living as Sam dying were two completely different situations, and Laura should never feel terrible about it. The two exchanged hugs before walking away. Sunny also entered the chapel to see Carly already present. They exchanged memories of all the times they had been in that location, praying for assistance. Carly stated that despite the agony that occurs within the hospital walls, she still sees it as a place of hope. Tuesday, April 1st, 2025. Across town, Lucy Coe decided to pay Jen Sidwell a visit and tell him all about the General Hospital nurses' ball. She guides him through the sparkle and splendor of the past, concluding with how poignant it has been for her. She explains him about how it benefits HIV+ people, and then asks if he'd like to donate to help fund this year's event. Sidwell promises to foot the bill for the entire event on one condition, which she accepts. The two then go to the Heart Center function, where Lucy announces that Sidwell will sponsor the 2025 Nurses' Ball. Valentine, formerly a buddy, would have died at Brennan's hands if all had gone as planned. Fatal attractions? Brennan is completely in love with Carly, and anyone who undermines their connection risks terrible consequences. Jason is expected to intensify his efforts to separate Carly and Brennan, especially when Brennan's dark truths emerge. While Carly believed she was acting in Brennan's best interests by informing him of Jason's frightening conduct, her decision to reveal that knowledge may be disastrous. Brennan may already be planning his strategy for Jason, and any means necessary to erase him from their lives. However, Carly would never forgive Brennan if he turned Jason into a dangerous target, so he must proceed with caution and keep this in mind. Brennan might set up a diversion to make it look like Jason was the victim of a mob hit. Brennan may eventually attempt to kill Jason, staging the incident to make it appear that a rival mafia was behind the attack. While Jason is likely to survive whatever Brennan has planned, he may still face hidden threats. Future spoilers reveal that the conflict between Jason and Brennan is just getting started, implying that more terrifying threats and unsettling forecasts are on the way as the story progresses. But Brennan should not expect to be the #1 suspect if Jason is apprehended. After all, Jason is pals with Anna Devane. General Hospital spoilers and updates for Wednesday, April 2nd include important questions, angry warnings, and concerned besties. Gio Palmieri has important inquiries, Sasha Corbin issues stern warnings, and Jason Morgan is frightened about his best friend. Crucial questions. Gio has urgent questions for Emma Scorpio Drake as they wait outside a courtroom door, questioning why she did it knowing she had a record. He must be referring to Emma's famous act of civil disobedience, in which she chained herself to the Quartermaine crypt in support of Tracy Quartermaine. Meanwhile, Councilman Ezra Boyle, along with the corrupt Congressman Drew Quartermaine, aka Drew Kane, had bulldozers poised to obliterate the crypt and its inmates. Drew insisted that Boyle take whatever steps were necessary to guarantee the destruction went ahead. Both Emma and Tracy are now facing legal accusations, and it appears that these difficulties are far from over. Anna supports Anna Devane, her granddaughter, arrives to the courts and appears to be distressed with someone, either Ezra, Drew, or the prosecutor. She confronts this person, implying that their motivation for targeting her granddaughter is related to a personal issue they have with her. Naturally, Anna is present in court, especially because Emma's case is on the schedule. Will she be able to clarify the matter, or is the prosecution prepared to take a hard stance? Job interview at Diane and Alexis offices. Diane Miller is midway through a job interview at Davis Miller Law, when she discovers something fishy on the candidate's resume. She inquires as to who else is aware of the situation. Diane and Alexis Davis recently discussed the prospect of hiring a new partner. Could this candidate be vying for that position? The applicant looks to be looking for a partnership rather than a position as a secretary, receptionist, or paralegal. While a candidate's background may be less important in those roles, a legal partner's experience may have a substantial impact on the outcome of a case. Tracy disapproves of Brooke Lynn Chase's apparent disagreement with Maxie Jones. Could they be holding a meeting regarding Deception Cosmetics? Regardless, Maxie gives a suspicious look, and Brooke Lynn shows her dissatisfaction, saying, "Doesn't this bother anyone else?" It's conceivable she's furious about the nurse's ball donor, especially since Tracy informed them that Jen Sidwell is sponsoring the entire event. Alternatively, it may be the manner in which the announcement was made. Perhaps they're talking about Lucy Coe interrupting the cardiac wing ceremony? Angry warnings. Sasha appears to be at Windmere when she gives a harsh warning to Sidwell, stating unequivocally that her willingness to help him for financial gain is limited. What precisely is Sidwell attempting to get Sasha to accomplish for him? Given that he previously kidnapped her, why is she even speaking with him? While his actions may appear harsh, they originate from the fact that her mother, Holly Sutton, snatched his gems. What scheme is Sidwell working on right now, and what does Sasha find unacceptable? Bedroom meeting. Meanwhile, Carly Spencer and Jack Brennan look to be in sync, as they have a moment in bed. Carly expresses anxiety that they will not be able to sustain this closeness for long. Surprisingly, Jack may come to agree with her. What covert activities or WSB obligations might Jack be participating in that he cannot disclose with Carly? Will Carly continue to believe all he says without question? Worried besties. Jason is genuinely concerned about Carly's blind faith in Brennan, which has caused a schism between him and her when she refused to quit their connection. His fear prompts him to visit Carly's brother, Lucas Jones, at the hospital. When Lucas asks how he can help, Jason just says, "It's Carly." This statement quickly draws Lucas' attention and support, since he shares Jason's skepticism of Brennan, and is irritated that Carly is also refusing to follow his warnings. Lucas had offered his sister the same warning regarding blind confidence in someone she couldn't check out. Sidwell's offer for Sonny Drew's raging threat. Sasha confesses to Jason. The tension in Port Charles reached a boiling point as powerful forces collided, secrets were exposed, and long-simmering grudges erupted into open conflict. At the center of it all was Sonny Corinthos, a man whose empire had withstood countless threats, but none quite like the one now posed by the ruthless businessman Sidwell. Meanwhile, Drew Kane's simmering anger exploded into a full-blown rage, threatening to upend alliances and ignite a dangerous feud. And in a moment of raw vulnerability, Sasha Gilmore made a shocking confession to Jason Morgan, one that could change everything. Sonny Corinthos had spent years building his empire, navigating betrayals, rival mobsters, and even his own personal demons.